this is a great way to get us back because we got to eat, right? So we might as well reinvent the idea that it's worth spending an hour in the late afternoon, early evening, cooking together and eating slowly together and having conversation together, because it solves. I've talked about this idea a few times. It's both are relevant to our conversation. I said, if put away all the fancy, complex conversations about how to make our people in our society, better off and live with better well-being, to two things: shop at your local farmer's market, as opposed to shopping at a big box store or something like that.
I agree.
And make family dinner cool again. So if you just think about it, if we just did those two things, and you don't even think about macronutrients and micronutrients, like just have a movement where more people are buying food from their local farmers, whether it's at a farmer's market or a food co-op or a local butcher shop or a local fish market, and then within families making family dinner cool again. The food quality goes up. Even physiologically, we're going to digest food better when we're eating it in a social, relaxed environment than if we're eating it in our car or something like that. I love that idea that if we just sort of return to doing a couple of simple things like that, a lot of things get better.
Oh, right. And like you say, return to it. I mean, think about what our ancestors did generations and generations ago. First of all, they would hunt together. Or they would pick vegetables out of the garden together, and then they would prep it together. And not once, I get a little bit fired up, but not really, because I get it that we need to talk to people about maximizing their protein. But when did our ancestors, Jason, look at a deer and say, I wonder how much protein is that in that and how much fat and carbohydrates? Right. When did they ever say that? Right. Or when they dug potatoes out of the garden or picked strawberries, did they ever say, man, I don't know, the glycemic index on these might be pretty high? I mean, it's kind of hysterical, really.
It's kind of hysterical. It's kind of, I'll use this word non-judgmentally, but descriptively, it's kind of neurotic.
Right.
Like, and it actually, and it's ineffective, right? Like if you polled 100 people on the streets in 1930, how many people could identify these words like macronutrient, micronutrient, phytonutrient, right? The amount of people would be very low. And if you polled people today, the amount of people would be very high. And yet our well-being outcomes are significantly worse. So that tells me, more information, more knowledge isn't the answer. It's more of these like readopting these ways of life that make all of this work.